Have you ever asked yourself, why wasn't I diagnosed earlier? How do I make sense of my past through this new lens? What does it mean to be both autistic and have ADHD? How do I navigate relationships after my diagnosis? What steps should I take now? Hi, I'm Michelle, and if you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back. I was diagnosed with autism and ADHD at the age of 54, and I started this YouTube channel to share my own journey, what it's like to navigate life on the spectrum. And I'm sharing the real stuff, the ups and the downs, not just the highlight reel. If that's what you want to hear, then you're in the right place. Please hit the like button if this is the kind of content that you enjoy, and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so that you don't miss the next time I upload a video. What we know now compared to what we knew when people my age were kids is far, far more. The original definition of ADHD was really only based on boys, and it didn't include how differently it presents in girls. And it was expected that for both boys and girls that they would grow out of it. It certainly wasn't something that was an adult diagnosis back then. So why was it missed? Why wasn't I diagnosed earlier? The majority of that reason is because of how differently it presents for women. For women, we mask. We have learned to mask our entire lives. We've learned to cover up. We've learned to camouflage. And in doing so, oftentimes, the symptoms that we present, which can look like anxiety, which can look like depression, are often misdiagnosed. And that's largely the reason why we weren't diagnosed earlier. How do I make sense of my past through this new lens? For me, it's kind of been like taking stock, taking an inventory, understanding my past with that new lens of the diagnosis of autism and ADHD. In the past, I just felt like a complete failure. I felt like I wasn't measuring up to a standard that I felt was pretty easy. But some of the easy things I just could not overcome, and I just felt like a complete failure. My self-esteem took a major hit. But now, understanding that my brain just works differently, that I just can't do some of those things that other people find easy. But I've also got so much more to offer the world than the things that I don't find easy. Executive dysfunction for me is something that I am learning ways to overcome, or learning how to mitigate, in as much as with work, for example, I will take notes, I will set up alarms for different things, and I also have stopped all of the different pop-ups that distract me, email pop-ups, etc. Understanding that my brain works differently and now working within those parameters allows me to understand that I'm not broken, and nor are you. Our brains just work differently. And when you finally understand the lens of a life that has felt broken, misunderstood, and not able to fit in, or feeling on the outer so much, you understand now that there is a community of people out there who completely relate to how you've lived life, to how you've experienced it, because they're also neurodivergent. And when you understand that, then you're able to be kinder to yourself and not berate yourself and not hold yourself to a standard that you just can't meet, because that's not how your brain works. When you understand how your brain works, when you uncover all of the different intricacies about you as an individual and start to embrace those things, then you're able to create a world around you that is more authentic and that is easier for you to navigate. What does it mean to be both autistic and have ADHD? The co-occurrence of autism and ADHD is becoming known to be a lot more prevalent than was previously thought. The difficulty with having both is that you are on both ends of a seesaw, effectively, and one might be more dominant than the other. So your autistic traits might be more dominant than your ADHD traits. You may not be impulsive like someone just with ADHD is, because your autism requires sameness and consistency and routine. But oftentimes you still need novelty. You still need interest-based things to hold your attention. So having both can be a little bit of a fight. But understanding that that's how it's going to be and understanding how your unique brain works is definitely the key to helping you navigate as someone with AuDHD. How do I navigate relationships and social dynamics post-diagnosis? Well, for me, I'm actually just navigating them the same way that I have, other than I am letting people know about my diagnosis, those close to me, those that I want to share that with. I don't share it with everybody. And I'm basically doing the exact same thing, except I am now not pushing myself beyond what I know I can handle. Now, that might mean I've organised to catch up with some friends, and I may have organised that a week in advance. But on the day of catching up, I'm exhausted from work, or I'm exhausted from some sensory overload. And so I will let my friends know that no, I won't be there. And I don't necessarily have to say why. And that's certainly something that I'm doing now, rather than what I would do previously was head out anyway because I said I would go and I'm true to my word. Now I'm understanding that being true to my word is one thing. Taking care of myself is a complete other one, and I need to prioritise that. People who are in your world, who love you, who understand you, will completely understand that and be okay if you need to do that. And finally, what steps should I take after getting my late diagnosis? Probably the most important thing is to ensure that you have support. Now, that might mean your therapist, and if you don't have one, I would suggest that you get one, an ADHD coach. There are different professional organisations out there who can offer resources to you so that you can understand your diagnosis. Joining forums can help. There's a bunch of different Facebook groups that you can join where you can be conversing with other people who have a similar life experience to you and who are navigating the world the same way that you are. And I have personally actually found that really helpful. I've joined a couple of Facebook groups, and it's really lovely to actually have people who will post even just memes, things that you totally relate to because that's how life is for you. And it just makes you smile to know that you're not the only one. But I would definitely say make sure that you've got support in your corner. One of the main things is to not isolate. When you need to isolate because of shutdown, that's completely different, and absolutely do that. But outside of that, it is still vital that you connect with people. It might be family, it might be friends. But doing life alone is really hard. Or you could just connect with the people here who watch my videos. Receiving a late diagnosis of autism and ADHD can be a transformative experience. It can offer clarity and a path forward for self-acceptance. While it might bring challenges, it also opens the door for you to understand yourself so much better. And at the end of the day, to be kind to yourself. And I'll be real, it can be challenging. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll understand that I have had some challenges recently, and I don't expect that those are going to disappear. The thing is, when you start advocating for yourself, because now you understand yourself better, there's going to be pushback from some people. And that's okay, they're allowed to push back. But I will continue to fight. I will continue to try and share my own experience so that for you, you can feel less alone and feel like there's someone out there that's experiencing it the same way that I am. Life isn't always easy, but that's okay. Because together, we can learn how to live life on the spectrum. Thanks for being here. Catch you in the next one.